Alright, I figured I'd go over a few things that I like to personally carry with me. All these baits and lures that I personally like to use. You don't have to have all of these. And then obviously we have the Duke 550 Pro Series offset. The 2-coil spring, but the offset is this right here, this gap. It doesn't close all the way on the animal's foot. It doesn't break any bones or anything. I also like to run a spring on my trap. So when it's anchored to the ground, when they're yanking on it, it just makes it a little bit more comfortable on the animal, in my opinion, and you don't have as many pullouts. Actually, have never had a pullout since I used that, besides one bobcat a few nights ago, but it was due to my own fault. It had rained a few days before, and then it dried out, and it got a hard crust over that trap, so it kind of delayed the closing of the trap once it went off. But anyway, I personally like the super stakes with a chain over wolfang or anything. There's nothing wrong with those. It's just a personal preference of mine. Anyways, that is the trap that we love to use. We're going to go over some of the baits and lures that we use now. Hopefully you can still see me. I'm just going to set this out of the way. Alright, so if you watch my channel much, you know that I love to use, not that one, but yeah, right here. I love to use the lightning in a bottle. It's just a very strong skunk essence. You can see that there? It's by Dunlap Lures. It's lightning in a bottle. I use that paired with, most of the time I pair it with Dunlap's Time of Death mouse bait. That is a killer combination. Obviously I use a red fox urine with that too, but those two with the red fox urine has been a killer combination. I say killer, meaning it's a really good combination, not literally killing the animals, but it does get them caught. And, anyway, so that is my go-to favorite. And also I will pair lightning in a bottle with your Soul Taker by Dunlap 2. And sometimes I'll use this location bait here by Dunlap. And all this, I always, when I'm doing coyote sets, I am always using red fox urine. Unless it is like a scent post, where I use a gland lure for coyotes, and then I will use coyote urine. The reason I don't use coyote urine on every set, my personal opinion, again, some may argue with me, but it seems like it will kind of scare the foxes away in a sense. Most of the places where I trap, it is to move as many of the fox, coyotes, bobcats, coons, whatever. We try to remove most everything that we can. Or these tree limbs are blowing in front of me. Hopefully you can hear me over this wind, and we've got a storm blowing in. Anyway, that's why we do that with the coyote urine. Only every now and then, but always use the red fox. It seems like it does not scare the gray fox. It does obviously scare the red fox, and it definitely doesn't scare the coyote. Anything kind of territorial deal where, oh, there's a red fox in my area, this is my turf, and a coyote's mine. That's my thinking. Anyway, here's some other stuff that I picked up that I haven't had a chance to use. This is Pine Hollow Trapping Supply. This dose Duncan. But that's just a bait. Just pick that up, and then the Pine Hollow also is Snag-a-Puss Bobcat Rub Lure. Hopefully you can see that. And then we have Pine Hollow Trapping Boom Shakalaka. We just picked that up. We haven't used any of this, but we're gonna definitely try it out. And then Pine Hollow Hoochie Coochie. So this is a bobcat gland also. And then when I'm doing a scent post set, I'm doing a flat set with the 3 punch hole triangle that you see a lot of times on my channel. I will use a Dunlap lure, Reaper Ghost, Reaper coyote gland. I'll put that in 1 punch hole, and then I will use a Dunlap lure Death coyote gland. I'll put that in another hole, and then I use this quite a bit. A Dunlap lure Hostile predator gland. I'll use that quite a bit too. Always I will combine those 3 on that particular set. Now, I do use it on dirt holes and stuff occasionally too. I'll drill my dirt hole, and then I will put a little punch hole right beside it or something. Every now and then I'll put some Hostile or some kind of gland lure right there with it too, just to kind of spice it up a little bit, if you will. This is a Dunlap lure Alpha Predator lure. I'll sometimes pair that with a urine and then a bait, whether it's Soul Taker or Time of Death or even this location, and then I have some homemade stuff that I've used on too. But anyway, those are some of the ones I use. This here is a Predator Control Group XXX Call Lure. I also use that in a dirt hole set a lot of times, and then even a scent post set. I'll rub some of that on the log too. And I also use some of those on scent post set too, as far as like on a log. It doesn't have to be on a flat set 3 punch triangle. Sometimes I'll dig a trench about 3-4 foot long and put 3 punch holes right in the side of it. Put a trap right in the middle in that trench and use some of that also. This is a Clarman's, I can't read all of it, but it's made by Clarman's something, and it's a canine call. It's more or less just a gland lure, I think. And we've got some Hall Bakers. This is just a gland lure, coyote gland lure here. We'll use those on like a scent post set also. And then the Caven's Canine Force is just a little, I'm not really sure what it would be. I guess it's just a lure, I guess you would say. It's for coyotes, bobcats, and raccoons. It's got kind of a sweet smell to it. But anyway, use that on occasion. Got your Caven's Terminator. It's bobcat, coyote, raccoons, mink, and pretty much any of those predators. But, it says we use 1 tablespoon per set. It's just a little lure that's made by Caven's that we use occasionally too. A lot of times I'll put it on my bobcat sets, like a log set. Y'all go check those videos out. There's one in particular, one log set that it was the first time I'd ever tried it, but I caught 3 bobcats on it, and then just a couple nights ago I missed a bobcat on it because of that hard crust from the rain. And then this is a Dunlap lure Hellfire. It's basically the same thing as the lightning in the bottle, but not as strong of a scent. I can get it out in here for you. Maybe you can see it. But this Hellfire's got a skunk essence also. But anyway, so that's I think that's about it on the baits. We got some Texas two-step Pine Hollow also. We just started using that. It seems work pretty good too on bobcats and coyotes. We do have some Cavens Gusto. I don't know if you can see it in this thing, but it is a very loud skunk essence, and every time I take it out of this bag, I get it all over my fingers and I smell like a skunk for 2 or 3 days. So I try to keep it in this bag, along with your lightning in a bottle Hellfire. If you don't want to smell like a skunk all the time, keep it in the bag. And only take it out when you're using it with a pair of gloves. Anyway, that is about it. Just a mouse, liquid mouse dirt nap by Dunlap. I use it, just a liquid. Just squirt it in there. It smells like mouse, I guess. And I always use sheep wool on all my dirt hole sets. I will. It's just kind of an added scent, plus it helps hold your bait and lure smell. In my opinion, it helps hold that scent down in that hole longer. We'll go over some of the tools now. Set some of the stuff out of your way. You can see. I carry a hatchet for when I'm digging out a trap bed. If it has some roots or something in there, I can chop the little roots out of the way and it's not affecting my traps. And then I have a couple of different size little deals here. I mainly use this longer one, but this is what I'll take, dip my bait out of, put it in and push it in the back of, and along with my sheep in the back of my dirt hole set. I push it all the way back down in there. With that, I always keep a screwdriver on me for if I have to readjust the trap, along with some pliers. And then my knees hurt. Pick it up. This is just another little bait scoop I carry along with me. And of course, my driver here for my super stakes. Just a piece of rebar with a nut welded onto the top of it, and then it's grounded down to where it fit in the super stake. For driving that down your anchor. Same thing with this. It's just a piece of steel. It's a driver for your super stakes. I keep a couple of those because I happen to drive it, get everything set, drive off, go to the next set, and left it there at the last one. But anyway, I always carry 2 pairs of gloves. I carry a leather set for setting my traps, doing my dirt holes, and then I use a pair of rubber gloves for my baiting. You never want to use the same set of gloves for baiting and setting your trap, because you're going to get this scent on this pair of gloves for your baits and lures, and it's going to get all over your trap, and they're going to dig you up. They're going to dig your traps up, trying to find what's in there to eat. And then obviously your trapping mat for your knees, keep your human scent off the ground right there in front of your trap while you're digging your trap bed. And I just use this. There's different things. This is just a little gardening deal that I picked up, pretty cheap. It works really well for digging out my trap beds. So that's what I use for digging my trap beds out. And then I use a 4-pound hammer, a little maul sledgehammer, for driving in my anchors, my super stakes with my rebar. Use that for that. And a screwdriver. Try to keep a couple of everything on me because I'm bad about losing stuff. And then a big heavy duty set of scissors for cutting up grass and different things for your blind sets, flat sets. Also, I like to use Q-tips. I just got a little sandwich bag full of them, keep in my traffic bag. But when I'm using like my lures, my lightning in a bottle and different things like that, your gland lures, I like to, you can use a stick, little piece of stick, it works just fine. But my opinion, again, just personally, that little bit of cotton helps hold that scent in. So I just use a Q-tip, dip it down in there, don't take much, just enough to cover up your cotton swab on the end, and I'll throw it down in the back of my home. They're not expensive at all, a couple bucks for a whole thing, a box of them, so it's costing you basically nothing to use one. Anyway, that's just another tip that I have found works good for me. And then obviously you got your dirt sifter. There are several different ones to sift the dirt over top of your trap, your bedding it. And then I use a peat moss. Maybe you can see this. I don't carry this whole bag. I got a bucket with it in it, but it's just a peat moss. You can buy it at Lowe's. Walmart might even sell it. I'm not sure. In the garden section, I normally get it at Lowe's, Home Depot, or somewhere, and it comes with a lot, and it'll last a long time. But I'll use that a lot of times inside the jaws of my traps when I'm bedding my trap, just to keep any dirt clods from getting under my pan and making it where it won't set off properly when it does go. That's pretty much it. This is just extra swivels and different things. I like to use multiple swivels on my traps. I have one here at the base. I have one right at the spring, one on the other side of the spring. And a lot of times I would just put my trap tags right up here on this swivel here so that it doesn't get chewed up. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope y'all learned something today.